Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So I think we will finish in the top 4 if we do beat Tottenham on Friday night. Now of course I've already given you the preview for the game. I give you my preview yesterday and all of that, giving you a bit of team news building up to the game. Now, like I said to there's quite a few teams in that top 4 race. Obviously, there's us, there's Chelsea, there's Wolves, there's Sheffield United, there's Tottenham, there's Arsenal and all of that. So there's a lot of teams in that top 4 race. As it stands at the moment, we are sitting 5th in the Premier League and we are just 3 points behind Chelsea. And, there is 9 games remaining in the Premier League. And analysing it, we've got the easiest running. Like I've said to you on my recent videos, I think the only hard games we've got out of our 9 remaining games is the one on Friday against Tottenham and the game against Leicester on the last day of the season. So they're the only 2 hard games we've got. So in reality, we should win at least 7 of our 9 remaining games. So if we can win 7 out of 9, we'll register 21 points and all of that. But yeah, and there's also 92 games to play in all competitions. Like I've said, we've got a great opportunity of winning 2 trophies this season under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, we can win the FA Cup. We are into the quarterfinals of that. We have got Norwich in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And in reality, we should be winning that. So we should progress to the semi-finals. I think the last time we won the FA Cup was under Louis van Gaal era back in 2016. And also, we enjoyed a very, very good FA Cup run last season, beating, Reading, beating Arsenal, beating Chelsea. We did progress to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup last season. Of course, the Europa League, that's a chance for, winning a trophy as well, because we are now, obviously, into our last day of the Europa League, because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. And like I said to if we could win both trophies, it would be a fantastic achievement for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season as Manchester United manager. Or even if we could have won at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But revert back to what I said, I'm hopeful that we can get the top 4. Because obviously, if we do get qualification for the Champions League for next season, it'll help us attract players to the elite level, and plus we will generate money. Now, it all depends on what happens with Manchester City's 2-year European ban anyway. If City's 2-year European ban is upheld, then 5th place is a Champions League spot. But if it isn't, then obviously, Man United will have to get that top 4. But we still want to get that top 4 anyway, and that. So yeah, so it's Friday, Tottenham Man United, 8:15 kick-off. Of course, Solskjaer's looking to overcome Jose Mourinho yet again. Solskjaer's already overcome Jose Mourinho once this season, because we've beaten Tottenham in the reverse fixture at Old Trafford by 2-1. And we actually, really, really dominated that game, played out from the back well, played with a high line, created good chances and that. And if we can replicate, in the game on Friday what we did at Old Trafford, then I'm very, very convinced that Manchester United can definitely beat Tottenham. Solskjaer, will be looking to tactically nullify Tottenham and Jose Mourinho. So, yeah. And obviously, Solskjaer's looking to beat Jose Mourinho he's looking to beat Tottenham, for the 3rd time as a manager, because he's already beaten Tottenham twice since he, got recommended in as Manchester United manager. But we do know it's not going to be easy. Obviously, Tottenham from their perspective, they have to win the game to keep their top 4 ambitions alive. Obviously, Tottenham cannot win anything in terms of silverware this season, because Tottenham are not in the Champions League. They got knocked out by Leipzig. They're not in the FA Cup. They got knocked out by Norwich. They recently lost in a friendly as well to Norwich. So top 4 is their priority, is Tottenham's. But like I said, Tottenham have endured a very, very difficult season. They've endured a very, very difficult season. Some more bad news from a Tottenham perspective. Dele Alli will be missing the game on Friday, because he got a 1-game suspension from the FA for them coronavirus offensive social media posts. Don't forget, Dele Alli got fined £50,000 for this. Tanganga's also injured, and Troy Parrott's also injured as well. But like I've said, the good news is from a Tottenham perspective, they've obviously got Kane now back. Kane, of course, did sustain a hamstring injury in January. And they've also got Human Son back, probably two of Tottenham's best players. Yeah. So that's the team news, I did give you yesterday. Some of our team news as well. There was reports coming out earlier on this week saying that Paul Pogba is going to be benched for the game. It might not happen, I think, Paul Pogba could actually start. I'm very, very excited about the prospect of him playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. And like I said to you, Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's future, because if they can build a good partnership in our midfield, then I think Pogba will commit his long-term future at Manchester United and he will end up signing a new long-term contract. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's got a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. We'll probably trigger that 1 year extension on Paul Pogba's contract anyway. There's no excuse, not to start him, because obviously, now Paul Pogba's fully fit. Like I said, he's been doing very, very well in training. Of course, Paul Pogba played alongside Bruno Fernandes for the very first time in the two friendlies we played against West Brom not too long ago. Of course, we lost the first friendly by 2-1, but won the second one by 3-1 and all of that. And, the last time Paul Pogba played was our 4-1 win against Newcastle, and the last time he started from the start was back in September. So Paul Pogba's appearances have been limited this season. He's only managed 8 appearances for the football club. I haven't really had a perception on Paul Pogba, because he has hardly played. Adnan Januzaj, who's a former Manchester United player and a close friend of Pogba's, he even made the admission saying that Pogba will stay at Man United beyond this season, but I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future. Don't forget, it came out the other week saying that Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes' positions have been changed. It did say Paul Pogba will be deployed as our next number 10. He's played as a number 10 quite a few times during his Manchester United career. And he said that Bruno Fernandes will play as the number 8. And I presume that McTominay will play as the number 6. But I did say, didn't I, our first choice midfield trio will be with Pogba in the starting lineup. Pogba, Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay. McTominay's had an impressive season as well. Obviously, was out with injury for a while. Fred will probably play instead of one of them so often. And Matic should get his chances as well. But I think Matic now, will be more on the bench and all of that. But Paul Pogba's future has more or less now been resolved, which is very, very good, because he has had a long-running transfer saga. Obviously, there's been a lot of talks about Pogba going to Real Madrid. There's been a lot of talks about Paul Pogba going back to Juventus. Don't forget, Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus. Don't forget, there were stories a couple of weeks ago saying that PSG were in for him. Also, too, Barcelona have been in for him in the past as well. But yeah, Paul Pogba is now staying at Manchester United. So I'm hopeful that he starts on Friday. I really, really am. Like I said, my verdict on Bruno Fernandes is that he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. I think Bruno Fernandes so far has got 3 goals and 4 assists. Don't forget, in every Premier League match Bruno Fernandes has played in so far, he has been given man of the match. So that just reflects on how good he has been for the club so far. Also, he won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. And Bruno Fernandes also was exceptional on his debut against Wolves. I think he actually had the most touches, Bruno Fernandes, definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. We got him in a deal worth £65 million from Sporting Lisbon in January. And I think Bruno Fernandes did sign a 5.5-year deal. But like I mentioned, the signing of Bruno Fernandes definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. And I think with the wins against the likes of City and Tottenham earlier on in the season, you can say that also saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United as well. But yeah, for this game against Tottenham, we have got a fully fit squad. By the way, it is our first time at Tottenham's new stadium. Obviously, I think Tottenham paid around £1 billion for their stadium. I think they're still paying it off in instalments and that. Looking forward, to seeing Marcus Rashford play on Friday. Of course, now Marcus Rashford is back from his back injury, and he's been doing very, very well in training. And like I said, anyway, overall, Marcus Rashford is one of our best players. And he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he sustained that back injury and that. Like I mentioned on my video yesterday, got to give Rashford a lot of credit because he's made the government perform a U-turn on scrapping free school meals. Because obviously, that Boris Johnson was talking about, scrapping free meals and all of that. But obviously, now that's not going to happen because obviously, Marcus Rashford, was recently talking with Boris Johnson. And obviously, Boris Johnson, as paid his give Rashford a lot of credit. Liverpool have also paid tribute to Rashford as well. Rashford, of course, has raised a lot of money for charity and, donated money to charity and all of that. So you've got to credit Marcus Rashford for that. But anyway, he will be playing on Friday. So reflecting on that, that means now Ighalo's starts will be limited at Manchester United. So probably Ighalo now will be used as a squad player. Don't forget, the other week we extended Odion Ighalo's loan until the end of January 2021. We paid Shanghai Shenhua just over £10 million for this. So Ighalo's going to be staying at the football club for a further 7 months. Don't forget there's no option to buy Ighalo or there's no obligation to buy Ighalo at the end of the loan. So after his loan with us, I presume he will go back to Shanghai Shenhua in January and all of that. So there you go. Like I said, Solskjaer's got an idea of what 11 he is going to go with on Friday. I've already given you my starting 11 prediction for the game. Like I said, I think we'll go David De Gea in goal. Of course, because obviously, David De Gea is going to remain our #1 goalkeeper for the remainder of this season. But actually, next season, Dean Henderson could become our #1 goalkeeper because don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson will be England's #1 goalkeeper, Man United's #1 goalkeeper in the future. I think Dean Henderson's extended his loan with Sheffield United, so he's going to be staying with them for the remainder of this season, like Chris Wilder recently confirmed. This has been Dean Henderson's second season on loan with Sheffield United. He has still got a contract with us until 2022, but Dean Henderson has been Sheffield United's player of the season, definitely, and he's been a revelation for them. We won't get rid of Dean Henderson permanently because, we do see him as a long-term replacement for De Gea, and he's definitely, he's the foreseeable future for Manchester United, definitely. But De Gea will remain our #1 for now. We'll go with Wan-Bissaka at right-back, I think, because obviously Wan-Bissaka is our first-choice right-back. We'll go with Lindelof and Harry Maguire. Of course, they are our first-choice centre-halves. And they've done very, very well together, Lindelof and Harry Maguire. But now Lindelof is facing competition, because obviously, Bay's now back and also Alex Tuanzebe is back. But, we've got a lot of centre-halves in the team anyway. Obviously, Small and Rojo out on loan at the moment. Phil Jones is still here. You've got Fossa Mensah, that can also play as a centre-half. There you go. I think Luke Shaw will play at left-back. Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back, I think, for the remainder of this season, but maybe next season Brandon Williams could become our first choice left back. And like I said, we are facing a bit of a dilemma at left back. In the midfield, if Paul Pogba's in the starting lineup, it'll be Pogba, Bruno Fernandes and McTominay. And if Paul Pogba's not in the starting lineup, I think it'll be Bruno Fernandes, Fred and McTominay. And the three up front, Rashford, Martial and Daniel James. So you already know my starting 11 prediction for the game. You already know that. But don't forget, Jose Mourinho, he was talking earlier on this week. And he did say, Jose Mourinho, that he's been telling people that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of his depth at Manchester United. Now, of course, Jose Mourinho is reuniting with Man United. Jose Mourinho will want to get one over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, don't forget, we had Jose Mourinho for 2.5 years. Of course, Jose Mourinho did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United and also got second place in his first season. But I've already given you the main explanations why it didn't work out, when we had Jose Mourinho. Because he had bad disputes with the board. bad disputes with the top players. The board weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend in. And in Jose Mourinho's 2.5 years he had with us, he recommended 11 players into the football club. And there's only a few players that have left who Jose Mourinho brought in. So let's put into the equation Solskjaer's inheriting the vast majority of Mourinho's players. Mourinho brought Bay in. That was his first signing. He obviously brought Lindelof in. He brought Lukaku in. He brought Sanchez in. He brought Mkhitaryan in. He brought Pogba in. He brought Dalot in. He brought Lee Grant in. He brought Fred in. He brought Matic in. Did Jose Mourinho. So he brought a hell of a lot of players into the football club. But I've already given you my verdict on Jose Mourinho anyway. I think he's past his sell-by date now. He's no longer a manager at the top level. You can't take anything away from him what he's achieved over the years because he's got a fantastic pedigree behind him. I think Mourinho's won like 25 major honours in his managerial career, of course. I think he was the best probably when he was at Chelsea. That's when he was a very, very good manager and that. But taking into account he did well at Madrid. He also did well when he was at Porto. Didn't he win the Champions League with Porto and all of that? But no longer a good manager. So, like I said to Tottenham did make a bad mistake by recommending Jose Mourinho win. I think Tottenham should have stuck with Mauricio Pochettino. Of course, I know they've enjoyed a difficult season, but I still think they should have stuck with him. Pochettino, of course, endured 5.5 years with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of Pochettino's tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Don't forget Pochettino also progressed Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last season. And he won over 100-odd games, did Pochettino for Tottenham. So he actually, did very, very well. Like I said, Tottenham have made signings, since they brought Jose Mourinho in. Like I said, they got a few good signings. They got Jedson Fernandes from Benfica. They got Steven Bergwijn. Steven Bergwijn scored in his Premier League debut for Tottenham against Man City earlier on in the season. I think Jose Mourinho's made 2 free signings. They did get Giovanni Lo Celso permanently. They also got Ryan Sessegnon in. They got Tanguy Ndombele in last year. I think he's one of Tottenham's most expensive signings, or is their most expensive signing. They got Serge Aurier in as well. They got Davinson Sanchez around 3 years ago. So they have spent money of Tottenham in the last 5 years or so. I think Pochettino spent over £200 million, when he was at Tottenham. Let's put into the equation, though, Tottenham did let Christian Eriksen go in January to Inter Milan, because Christian Eriksen endured 7 years with Inter Milan, and with Tottenham, sorry. And also to Tottenham let Danny Rose go out on loan to Newcastle and that. Hugo Lloris, I think he'll be playing on Friday for Tottenham because I think he's now back fit again. But there has been good games between Man United and Tottenham over the years. Don't forget, we had that 5-3 game when we came back from 3-0 down. We had that 5-2 game, when we came back from 2-0 down. I think the last time Tottenham beat us was under Jose Mourinho. I think when they beat us by 3-0 at Old Trafford and all of that. But yeah, like I said, really, really looking forward to this game. I think our first home game back is Sheffield United. He's Sheffield United, yeah. So I think if we can beat Tottenham, we can definitely finish in the top 4. Because I did say that game on Friday is crucial. Don't forget, we was supposed to be playing Tottenham on the 15th of March. But obviously, due to lockdown and that, the game could not go ahead. But building up to that, before the football season got suspended, that is, Solskjaer, was talking about that. He was talking about, what needed to be changed at Manchester United, since he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. And to be fair, Solskjaer has changed things. There's also been improvements under Solskjaer, like I've mentioned. Like I said, players have definitely improved under Solskjaer. Definitely players at the top level have definitely improved. And definitely, we've improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is we're being a bit more sensible with our recruitment, and Solskjaer's recommended the players that I wanted to recommend in, because so far Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at Manchester United and spent just over £200 million. In the last 2 windows, he got these 5 players in, because in his first transfer window, he didn't recommend anyone in. But the 5 signings that he's recommended in so far have done exceptionally well. You know, they really, really haven't that. So the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager and all of that. I've got to make an admission as well. Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well, you know, because young players have been given their opportunities this season, you know, such as Greenwood and Brandon Williams. They've been given their chances. But there again, there's some young players that have found game time difficult, you know. Angel Gomez has found game time difficult. Chon's found game time difficult. James Garner, he's also found game time difficult as well. So I think for the remainder of the season, they should get more opportunities. I heard as well as also 5 players we could give debuts to for the rest of this season. Because obviously, you know, we've got a lot of young players coming through and that. So let's just put that into the equation. Like I mentioned, our record against the Big Six sides this season has been exceptional. We've taken 17 points against the Big Six sides this season and that. So that's also very, very good. But I think we can continue where we left off. Well, I'm hopeful we can continue where we left off. Because, you know, before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and all of that. But, you know, we shall see what happens on Friday. We shall see what happens. Like I said to you know, there's some decisions, you know, that Manchester United have got to make ahead of next season, like I've already gone through with you. I think we've got around 2 weeks to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. Is it just under 2 weeks now? There was stories coming out from The Athletic recently saying that, you know, we've offered Angel Gomez a new contract. He's close to signing a new contract. But as far as I'm aware at the moment, there's no agreement that has been reached. The contract we've offered him is around £25,000 a week. We have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but obviously, no, he has turned these down. He's got reservations about getting into the first team as Angel Gomez because he's only made 6 first team appearances this season and only made 10 appearances since he broke into the senior squad and that. I think we've made a decision regarding Dalot and Bay. We're going to be keeping them at the football club. I know Dalot's appearances have been limited this season, but the main explanations why his appearances have been limited is obviously, you know, due to his injuries. Dalot is our backup right back to Pisaka. You know, PSG and Barcelona were in for Dalot the other week. Bay, very, very good centre-half. My only element of concern about Eric Bay, you know, is that he is very, very injury-prone. That's my only element of concern. So there's some decisions that Manchester United have got to make. Like I said, Solskjaer, you know, has also got rid of a lot of the deadwood as well, which is a positive. You know, like I said, you know, Young left the club this year after he endured 8.5 years at Man United. We saw Rojo go out on loan to Estudiantes this year. We saw Smalling go out on loan to Roma last summer. We saw Darmian leave the club last summer. As well, Valencia, he left the club last summer after he endured 10 years with Man United. We also saw Herrera leave the football club. You know, Herrera did endure 5 years at Man United. We also saw Fellaini leave the club in January 2019. He was the first player to leave the club under Solskjaer. And we saw, of course, Romelu Lukaku leave. And we also saw Alexis Sanchez leave and all of that. And like I said, there's, you know, Dean Henson out on loan. Of course, Joe Pereira is out on loan as well. Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of players since he came in. And Solskjaer, I know, of course, is going to get rid of more players in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. So we are going to generate money that way. I've already gone through with you now the players that I think are going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. But, you know, Solskjaer has been at the club now a year and a half, or is it over 18 months? You know, so he has been, you know, for quite a while now. But like I've said to you now, I think Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Man United because, like I said, it's a transition period and he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows and that, you know. Like I said to you, you know, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. You know, we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and of course, that was David Moyes. He endured 9 months at the football club. But like I said, we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. You know, one of the mistakes was obviously, you know, Ferguson recommending Moyes in. The main explanation why Ferguson recommended Moyes in is because he was both Scottish. After Moyes went, Louis van Gaal came in. He enjoyed 2 years at Man United. Of course, he did win the FA Cup. And after Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho came in, and he enjoyed 2.5 years at Manchester United, like I've already said to you. And that's Solskjaer's our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. You can say as well we made a mistake by giving Solskjaer the job permanently. But the main explanation why we give Solskjaer the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager and that. But yeah, I don't know if Solskjaer's a foreseeable future for Man United. Time will tell. Like I've said to United fans have got different verdicts on it. Some United fans think we need a manager at the top level, such as a Jurgen Klopp or a Guardiola. And some United fans think, he can get us back, to where we want to be. Now, Solskjaer, of course, has already made his plans for the summer transfer window. Of course, he wants to make around 3 or 4 major signings at the end of the season because he believes we need this, to be title contenders next season. Don't forget, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, And Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up and all of that. He wants to recommend a striker in, a right winger, a midfielder, and of course he does want to recommend a centre-half in. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Woodward, and he's also got the backing of the Glazers. I think we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. I've made an admission regarding Chelsea. Chelsea have done very, very good business so far. They've got Hakim Ziyech in February for 38 million, was it, or 37? I think they've got Werner now on the board from Leipzig. Chelsea are looking to get Ben Chilwell. I think it said he's their #1 priority target. They're also trying to get Kai Havertz as well. So Chelsea, could be up there next season. Chelsea, definitely, could be up there and that. But we should get the right players in anyway, because last week our transfer budget got revealed. It said, we're going to get, Solskjaer's going to get around 269 or is it 270 million pounds to spend in the summer transfer window. So that should get us around 3 or 4 players on the board. Our priority targets, of course, Jadon Sancho, I think he's still our #1 priority target. Jack Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets as well. I give you the news this morning, and my video's still loading. I give you the news on Grealish and all of that. Villa have said, they want £80 million for him. This morning as well, I give you the news on Leon Bailey from Leverkusen. We're seeing him as a cheaper alternative to Sancho and Grealish. The news on Willian. I give you the news on Willian yesterday. On my recent video as well, I give you the news on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. We've got a second chance now to get him because I know that Christian Falk, the German football expert, he actually said that Borussia Dortmund have agreed to get Bellingham, but Borussia Dortmund are struggling to get a deal over the line for him because Borussia Dortmund have got reservations about paying, Birmingham's asking price for him. So there's still a chance, we can get Jude Bellingham on the board. So the news on all of the transfers anyway. But like I said, Solskjaer, the vast majority of these players are not his. Like I've already said to he's inheriting players that Mourinho brought in. He's still inheriting some players here from the Van Gaal era. Still Murray from the David Moyes era. I think there's still a couple of players here from the Ferguson era as well. But actually, the vast majority of the players that we had under Ferguson have now departed the football club. Like I've said to we'll never be the team that we was under Ferguson. What I mean is no manager will replicate Ferguson's legacy, or no manager will last as long as Ferguson did. Ferguson, of course, did endure 26 years at Manchester United. Of course, he won a total of 38 major honours. He didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club though, and at that point Ferguson was close to getting sacked. But yeah, so we enjoyed 22 years of success under Alex Ferguson, but vast majority of our success came under Ferguson. If we hadn't have had Ferguson, we wouldn't have had any success. Because even before Ferguson, we wasn't that good. We had Ron Atkinson, he wasn't good. We had Franco Farrell. Didn't work out under Franco Farrell. I think we got relegated under Farrell, was it in 1974? Don't forget as well, we had Wolf McGuinness. He enjoyed 18 months at the club, I think, and he only managed to recruit 1 player in. So there you go. But like I've said to for the vast majority of this season, we've been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. And we've also been very, very critical of the Glazers. But there again, we've been critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years. So let's just put that into the equation. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.